It's a lovely evening and welcome to the ICU TV's main news tonight, day 9 of the 7th month of 2026. Remember, we're coming to you live and direct from our Lusaka studios located in Chalala Rockfield. Here to keep you informed with the following headlines. Vice President Mutale Nalumango survives after helicopter incident. President Hakainde Hichilema pledges more development for Chama district. And of course, still ahead in the news, the Electoral Commission of Zambia clarifies ballot paper rules for withdrawn candidates. And in international news, we have Iran-US conflict escalates after fresh airstrikes. Not forgetting the sports fanatics, we have Copper Princesses leave for Ethiopia ahead of World Cup qualifier. I'll be back on the other side with the details. Bringing to you the latest news and current affairs on ICU TV together with Amina Mtambo on the transmission box. I am Mishek Njakwa Edgars, and now the news in detail. Government has confirmed that Zambia Air Force helicopter carrying Vice President W.K. Mutale Nalumango was involved in an accident during takeoff in Nakonde district, Muchinga province earlier today while she was on official duties in the region. In a statement, Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick Kangwa said Vice President, together with all the passengers and the crew, are safe and well. He said Dr. Nalumango was taken to a nearby medical facility as a routine medical check precaution and was later discharged and is in good health. Mr. Kangwa commended the flight's crew and emergency responders for their professionalism and thanked the people of Nakonde for their swift assistance. He said the relevant authorities will establish circumstances surrounding the incident in a normal way, adding that the Vice President will continue with her official program of work. President Hakainde Hichilema has reaffirmed government's commitment to accelerating development in Chama district through increased investment in agriculture, road infrastructure, and education. The president also noted that the district has experienced improved peace and public order since 2021, creating a better environment for development. President Hichilema announced that government will increase support under the Farmer Input Support Program FISIP to boost agricultural productivity and improve farmers' livelihoods. He also reiterated government's commitments to upgrading the Chama Lundazi Road, Chama Mutambo Road, and other feeder roads to improve connectivity and facilitate trade. The president further announced that more schools will be constructed to expand access to quality education and also noted that the number of constituencies in Chama district has increased from 2 to 3 to improve representation, service delivery, as well as development. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, says candidates who resigned after July 6, 2026 will still have their names printed on ballot papers for the 2026 general election but will no longer be eligible to contest. The Commission says July 6 was the administrative deadline for receiving resignations before the printing of ballot papers commenced. It adds that printing of ballot papers for the National Assembly, mayoral, council chairperson, and councillor elections began on the same day, making it impossible to remove names submitted after the cut-off date. ECZ says local notices will be displayed in affected areas to inform voters that candidates who resigned after the deadline are no longer eligible to participate in the election. The clarification was issued by Corporate Affairs Manager Patricia Luanga on behalf of ECZ. That story from ECZ brings us to the very first set of commercials. Still ahead is local stories. Stay tuned.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Thank you so much for still staying attuned to ICU TV's main news. We continue with the news. The printing of ballot papers and election materials for the 2026 general election is expected to be completed by July 15, 2026. Al Ghurair General Manager Lakshmanan Ganapati said the packaging of ballot papers and election materials by polling station has already commenced, stating starting with Chipili and Luapula constituencies in Luapula province. The update was given during a guided tour of the printing facility attended by election stakeholders as preparation of the 2026 general election continue. The Ministry of Defense has handed over 190 newly constructed housing units to the Zambia Army at the Kenneth David Kaunda Barracks in Chongwe district as part of efforts to improve the welfare of military personnel. The houses include 10 high-cost, 62 medium-cost, and 118 low-cost units. A Ministry of Defense Permanent Secretary Mambo Hamaundu says the project is aimed at reducing the housing deficit for officers and non-commissioned officers while improving their livelihoods and living conditions. He also revealed that more than 600 additional housing units are nearing completion at the Buffalo Park Barracks in Lusaka. And meanwhile, Zambia Army Commander Lieutenant General Geoffrey Yele says the new houses will boost morale and improve operational effectiveness of service personnel. The housing project was constructed by Zhongmei Engineering Group, which has pledged to continue maintaining the units following their handover. Well, in other news, a 44-year-old man of Musadani village in Chief Mushoro's area of Kasengwa district has died after reportedly taking his own life following a marital dispute. Eastern Province Commanding Officer Robertson Mwemba says preliminary investigations indicate that the deceased Geoffrey Miti had earlier been involved in a domestic dispute with his wife over the use of groundnuts. The matter was reported and resolved with the help of a family friend. Police say the deceased allegedly raised an issue again on the evening of July 7th after consuming alcohol before leaving the house, carrying an axe and threatening anyone who had to stop him. Investigations into the incident are continuing. Well, we take another break. Still ahead is international news.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Thank Thank you so much for still staying attuned to ICU TV News, and now we take you through what is happening on the global stage. Iran says it has launched attacks on what it describes as United States military bases and strategic centers in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Qatar following a second consecutive night of U.S. airstrikes on Iranian territory. Iranian authorities say the U.S. strikes killed 14 people and injured 78 others, with explosions reported in several cities along the Strait of Hormuz, including Bushehr, Gabaa, Bandar Abbas, and Sirik. The United States President Donald Trump says the military action was carried out in retaliation for alleged Iranian attacks on ships transiting the Straits of Hormuz. Meanwhile, Iranians slain Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is expected to be buried tomorrow in his hometown of Mashhad after millions of mourners attended the funeral procession in Iraq cities as well as Najaf and Calabar. Still in international news, Iranian permanent representative to the United Nations Amir Said Iravani has accused the United States for violating the United Nations Charter and Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding following the latest wave of airstrikes on Iranian territory. The Iranian envoy also criticized the United Nations Security Council, alleging that its failure to act had encouraged further U.S. military operations. Iranian authorities say the latest airstrikes targeted both military and civilian infrastructure, marking an expansion from previous attacks that mainly focused on military installations. Iran says airports, railway lines, logistical facilities in 5 provinces were among the sites hit. Now, authorities also reported damage near the Bushehr nuclear plant and several coastal walls in southern Iran. We take our last commercial break. When we come back, we wrap up with sports news.
The Information and Communications University stands as one of Zambia's fastest growing private universities. Now, it does not just provide classroom learning, but world-class education that goes beyond the classroom. Coming soon, exclusively on ICU TV, is Beyond the Classroom, a series that showcases what matters most, practical learning and hands-on skills development. From the School of Agriculture to mining, from engineering to media studies, Beyond the Classroom will reveal the unique side of ICU. It will help prospective students looking for the right university make informed decisions about their future. Now, this series will unpack the practical learning experiences offered across every school and every course.
With the following story coming all the way from our very own Copper Princesses. The Zambia Under-17 women's national team has left for Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, ahead of the second leg of the final round qualifier for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup Morocco 2026. The team departed from Kenneth Kaunda International Airport this afternoon, seeking to secure a third consecutive World Cup appearance. Now, head coach Karo Kanyemba says the team is fully prepared and focused on fighting or finishing the job after taking a narrow advantage for the first leg played in Lusaka. The Copper Princesses will be aiming to book their place at the global tournament with a positive result away from home. The team is expected to hold one training session in Addis Ababa before the decisive encounter later this week. Zambia has qualified for the last 2 editions of the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup and will be looking to continue that record. On that note, we have come to the end of the main news tonight, but before I let you go, here is a recap of the top stories on the other side. Well, we have come to the end of the main news, but here is a recap of the top stories tonight. Vice President Mutalena Lomango safe after helicopter incident in Nakonde. President Hakainde Hichilema pledges more development for Chama district. ECZ clarifies ballot paper rules for withdrawn candidates. And of course, in our international news, we have Iran-US conflict escalates after fresh airstrikes. Well, in sports news, Copper Princesses leave for Ethiopia ahead of World Cup qualifier. That brings us to the final end of the news tonight. Remember, this is the ICU TV, and on behalf of the entire ICU TV crew, and of course, on the very behalf of my director, Amina Mtambo, I am Mishe Kinjakwa Edgars. Remember, Zambia is bigger than all of us.